Good morning, Pure Structure Traders. Today is May 17th, 2021. Today we'll be going over S&P 500, gold, and also oil. Going to give you guys some of the more major levels here on S&P 500. And then Wendy will be going over some of the minor levels, and then I'll open it up on gold and also oil as well. For those who are not subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe. If you guys do like these videos, please go ahead and smash that like button. If you guys have any questions, feel free to pop them in here on YouTube. We would love to get back to you guys. But with that said, guys, let's go ahead and get into the morning market analysis. For S&P 500, you can see up on the screen, I did have a level of support coming in right at about 41.56. We had a nice bounce off that level. And then we started holding resistance right at 41.6725, which is a prior level of support. And as of current, we're underneath these 41.56s, which I do want to see if we hold some resistance and then pull down to our next level of 41.44. Underneath those 44s, I do have another level of support coming in right at about 35, and then also 41.23 as support underneath. Some of the resistances overhead is 41.7350 and 41.76 as resistance. So we'll see if we get back up there. But as of right now, still underneath that 41.56 a little bit. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to hand it over to Wendy. She'll give you guys some of the minor levels for it.
Good morning, Dave, and to our traders. Well, London was uneventful. It was in a 15-point range last night. Not surprised. It's a Sunday evening. But now everybody's here to play, including the big boys. So can't wait to see what the market gives us. What's on the menu? Well, even though it looked like it might have been a little bit bearish, we are above two main supports, 41.22, 41.44. And the market is using these supports to continue to push up a little higher. So let's map out our journey from Friday. Where are our gorgeous little peaks that we can use? Number one, 41.37. And look how beautifully it used that to push higher. It's just not a coincidence where the market goes. It's always a roadmap. Number two, these two are pretty close together. So I'm going to just make a combo, 41.53 and 41.56. Were used on support as on Friday and London, but also used as a little bit of resistance on a micro scale earlier this morning. But it's a very important level. So I'd like to see the market push up that area with a purpose and then come back down and use it as support. So you hear me talk about micro peaks all the time. Well, what about our micro supports? They are just as mighty as our peaks. And I look for those as well. I just don't talk about them very much. Well, coincidentally enough, this morning, we did have a micro support at 41.47. Looking at it currently, it looks like it's just a random area, but it's not. You look left. It's a micro support from Friday. It is also the neck of the double top that was created on Friday. So that's why the market went there for the push up. And that's where I took my first pre-market long. And I took it at where? That micro peak number 2, 53.55 area. That's where I took it at 55 exactly. So if we continue to use our supports and our micro peaks, we can look for the moves to keep going up and up and up. Maybe retest our main resistance at 41.80, but we'll see. We have Dave's levels, we have my levels, we have a lot of areas to trade today. Either way, we're going to make some money. That's it for SPOOs. So Dave, what's the story on gold and oil?
Right. So let's move over here to gold. Good job. So for gold, a little bit of wider levels. Did have a level of resistance right at 1852.9. Kind of popped above that level a little bit and then started to come back down. My support underneath is right at 1843.8. So want to see if we bounce between these levels. You can see we have a measured move also to the upside, which is right around these 60 to 63s. So we'll look to see if we break this level again at 1852.9. We're going to want to come up and then hold that support and then continue to the upside from there. But again, we may end up playing in a range. Gold tends to like to do this for a little bit of time. So first level of resistance for a short opportunity, 1852.9. support, first we want to take it into the middle, obviously these 48 to 47s, and then support comes underneath to those 43.8s. Underneath this support, looking around 1839.5, and then under that it's 1832.7. So we'll see what the market gives us. If it bounces between these two levels of 52.9 and 43.8, we know exactly what we want to do. Above 52.9, we're going to look to push this to the upside of 1860 to 63. Let's go ahead and take a look at oil here real quickly for you all. Oil levels haven't really changed too much. You can see that we popped a little bit higher though. So we want to point out that we've come as high as somewhere around these 65, 69s. Do you think we may end up trying to head up to 65, 85? So I'm going to leave that target kind of up there to see if we get back up to that level. Now, if we get back below though, if we get back below these 65, 46s, I will probably end up looking for maybe a nice short fade opportunity right back into this maybe minor level here, which comes up right around these 65.19s and then more to a more major level somewhere around these 64.83s. So we'll see what happens. But again, 64.83, that's a level of support, and then resistance 65.85. With that said, guys, let's go ahead and get ready for the open.